What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to do a quick review of the MADETEC Heated Gloves. In this review, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about these gloves, including one thing that you should know before buying. So guys, I got these gloves, mainly it's really for like skiing. I like them a lot for skiing, but there's a bunch of different times that I've used them. I've used them while shoveling snow. I've used them while hunting. I've even used them while hiking before. So there's a lot of different uses for these, but obviously I want to keep my hands warm, right? And when you're out, when you're out with a regular pair of gloves, it's not that hard to keep your hands warm for, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. But when you're out for an extended period of time, like I typically am with some of these activities, you really need something that provides actual warmth, right? And these can really, really do that. So before I talk all about the gloves here, let me tell you what it comes with. So obviously it comes with the two gloves. It comes with two of these batteries, right? And these batteries, the way that it works is basically inside of here is where you put the battery, right? And it hooks up to a little plug on the inside of there, right? So you put them inside of there and they just basically sit there until you gotta take them out to charge. So it comes with two of the batteries, two of the gloves, obviously. It comes with this little handy pack, which honestly I don't use, but kind of cool just to hold the batteries if you want to keep them in one separate place. And then the charger. So I wasn't able to show you fully, but this is what it looks like when you plug the battery in. It just plugs right in there, and then you just use this to control whether it goes on or off. So that's how it actually works for heating it up. Now, before we want to get deeper into this here, I just want to talk about the gloves themselves. These are actually just, overall, you guys, these are really good gloves. They're really, really well made. They are waterproof gloves. They are windproof gloves. And as you can see, they have quite an area on the wrist. Let me actually put this onto my arm really quick. So you can see here, this is like halfway up my forearm, right? So it actually does have a lot. I mean, just as a glove itself, it's actually a very well-made glove and really comfortable and just warm as it is. I mean, you wouldn't even need heat for most of the time with this thing. But in this situation that you do, obviously you have the battery to help. And I want to point out this is really helpful for skiing and such. You can actually tighten it right here. So, if you want to tighten it around your wrist to make sure no snow gets in. And they also have little things right here, right where it comes up by your forearm, so you can tighten that as well. So it does a really good job of keeping snow out, which can be kind of a nightmare when skiing and everything. I've had things before where that didn't work out so well. So it works really, really well for that. But like I said, you just basically plug this into the battery here. Okay, so now that we got this hooked up, we will push it in here, right? And then, basically you zipper it up when you're ready. Just so you know, if you're wondering like, oh, does the battery bother your wrist, your hand? No, it doesn't get too hot, nothing like that. That's not how this works. It just sits right there. And then what we do is we hold this down, and this is to power it up, to actually warm everything up, right? Now this is on high right now. Red is high. And if it's on high, it'll only work for about 4 hours, which isn't bad, but about 4 hours, but it keeps it at 130 to 140 degrees throughout the glove. If you do it on green, it will be 120 to 130 degrees and work for about 7 hours. And then on blue is about 10 hours and it'll be 100 to 120 degrees. Now you're probably wondering, well, that's great, but when I wear it, is it just warming up by the battery? Where is it warming up? This one's really cool because it actually warms up even throughout these fingertips, right? And I've actually had a lot of gloves like this, and I've had some socks like this in the past before. So what they have is just these really little, I don't even know, it's almost like a wire. Like you can't even feel it, right? But it's like a very flexible wire that they have throughout the glove. So it actually does, it heats up your fingertips, your palm, either side of your hand. It really does a good job of evenly distributing the heat with these. Now, in terms of charge time, so obviously, like I said, it can last for up to 10 hours. But in terms of charge time for these, usually, and I don't know the exact because it's not like I'm sitting there watching the clock, but I'd say probably about 3 to 4 hours, you'll get a full charge out of these from pretty much nothing. That's been my experience. So charge time is pretty quick with these. If you're going to be using them the next day, just plug them in the night before. And this plug, one nice thing is it has the ability to charge both the batteries at once. Don't underestimate that. That's a nice thing. So you just basically plug it in and you just let it sit overnight and then you use them the next day. But yeah, like I said, that's when it's needed. Most of the time, these gloves themselves would just work really, really well. That all said, the one issue with these gloves, and I think for skiing, it's fine. But like I said, I've gone hunting and things. The one issue is that these gloves, they're pretty thick and kind of almost like fluffy. So it's hard if you're trying to do anything where, like you need like your finger, like a bow hunting or something like that. It can be kind of hard to hold objects, or if you're trying to pull a trigger or something like that, it can be kind of hard to do that, and you got to use your bare hand for it. So that's one thing to consider if you're using for, it depends on the activity, but that's usually for hunting. But for like skiing, things like this, it actually works really, really well. And I think in most cases it would work really well. So yeah, guys, if you're considering using them, or not sure if you should buy them, absolutely worth the money if you're tired of your hands being cold all the time, whether that's from all these activities or you're just someone who has cold hands. These will really help you out. So yeah, definitely recommend them and hope that you enjoy them.